slapping, ball slapping. It's a podcast all about slapping them balls.
Hello and welcome back to Ball Slapping, the podcast all about hitting things with various things because that's what we love. I'm joined this week by Pen Chai. Hi Pen.
Hi Daniel.
So this is another on location special podcast. We are in South London and we are going to the London Open Rugby Fives tournament. This is a bit like a sequel to the Dan Tristao podcast from a couple of weeks ago. If you haven't listened to that, go listen to it. But we're going to go in, we're going to check it out. But just to set the scene, Pen, what is Rugby Fives? What are we doing today?
What are we doing today? So I am the tournament organiser for the London Open. So we're currently at Allen School in Dulwich, which is a very nice school. Rugby Fives is a squash with your hands, basically. So we've got some of the top players in the country playing, and we've actually just concluded the singles final this morning.
Yeah, the singles final where Dan Tristao
Lost.
Oh, well, maybe. I'll need to interview someone else on this podcast now, someone better. But when you say squash with your hands, Pen, it's a bit similar to that, but the court is stone, the ball is hard, you have to wear gloves. We're going to walk in a second and just hear the crack of the ball against the wall. And over the course of this pod, Pen, I'm sure you'll talk us through some things, but we'll also interview a bunch of other players as well, just get people's feelings about Rugby Fives.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got 5-time national champ James Toop over there. We've got 8 times national champ DT here, and then current number 1 Ed, who's just beaten Dan in the singles final this morning here as well.
Yeah, and 0-time national champ Terry Mcelvaney. Right. So let's go in, Pen. As we walk into this venue, and I should say, as always, that we are recording this podcast in video format too, so if you're on YouTube or Spotify, you can watch this. But we're going to go in and we'll hear the ball crack against the wall. So I'm on a Fives court now, you can hear it's pretty echoey. It's got these black slate walls and a red floor. It's like the inverse of a squash court. It feels like there's a lot of energy here. You can feel the sweat, you can smell the balls and the leather and the gloves and all kinds of stuff. It's really nice. I've got some strong memories here after winning a few national titles here. But also, there's a few other players who have won a lot of national titles here, which I'm sure we'll talk to you later. There's Charlie Brooks. How are you doing, Charlie?
Oh, very well, thank you. Getting excited for our upcoming match, Dan.
Indeed, yeah. So, Charlie, you've enjoyed Fives for quite a long time, and especially doubles.
Yes, that's right. I do love playing. I love singles as well, but yeah, doubles would be my speciality.
What's your greatest, fondest memory of doubles?
Fondest memory? I think it is many of our games that we've shared, Dan. Sadly, none together. I don't think we've been that successful playing together, but we have many a battle against each other, which have been enjoyable. If I had to pick one, I'd probably go for that first national doubles title. We'd lost to you the year before, so coming back and winning it in 2013 was a great feeling.
Yeah, I'd say for viewers and listeners at home, there was a period where the two best doubles pairs were you and your partner Will Ellison, probably the GOAT of doubles if we're honest, and me and Dan Tristao, and we had battles year after year. I think you won the majority.
We did. They were all extremely close, but we just about edged it, I think.
But yes, and why do you enjoy this kind of thing, Charlie? Why do you like playing Fives compared to any other sport, really?
Compared to any other sport, I mean, I could go on for a long time there, Dan. I think a couple of things. One is the sport itself and actually how much of your body you're using for the sport. It really, you're using your legs, you're using your arms, you're using both sides as well. It's such a quick game as well, so it's a really exciting game. And then the other part of it is the camaraderie that we have here. You talked about a lot on your podcast as well, how we're a pretty friendly group. We all get on very well, both on court and off the court, and that's something pretty special. And we need more people to be doing it.
Indeed. Thanks, Charlie. Good luck in the final.
Thank you, and you too, Dan.
Thank you very much.
Terry Mcelvaney.
Sorry. Terry, so you're playing Rugby Fives today. You are in what round at the moment?
Myself and Penn are through to the quarterfinal of the Open Doubles, so should be a bit of fun. Yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, and I think you're an interesting case and candidate here, Terry, because you have actually transferred sports, because your original sport is Irish handball. Is that right?
Yeah, so predominantly 4-all growing up, which is mainly only played in Ireland, America, a little bit of Canada, a little bit of little bit of Australia, but yeah, primarily.
What is it? How do you describe that one? Because we've seen fives. We say fives is a bit like squash with your hands with a hard ball, but four isn't like that, right?
Yeah, it is and it isn't. So I suppose it's nearly a cross between fives and one wall to throw all the sports into the mix. So the court and four wall is a wee bit longer. It's a bit higher. You have a roof in play. You've no lines on the wall like you do in squash or in fives that the ball can go out in. So the entire box is in play. But similar to one wall, because we don't have that line or that front bar, we can go for those kill shots that we go for on one wall. So the aim of the game is similar to one wall. Hit the ball as low as you can, hit those kill shots, and win the rally.
And the ball is like a rubbery, bouncy thing.
Yeah, it's a little bit smaller than a one-wall ball, but a little bit bigger than a squash ball, and much harder than either of them.
Now you're transferring over, because you did a lot of one wall, and now you've kind of like fallen in love with fives. Is that about right? Or you have you're getting there. You like it?
Yeah. No, I think that is fair. So I moved over here, and unfortunately there was no four wall in England, so focused on the one wall, and probably got as good as I was probably going to get at one wall. Getting a bit older, it's like, okay, right, is there anything else out here? And saw a video of probably you playing this on YouTube at some point, and I was like, sure, we'll give it a go. And it was nice to have walls again.
And I just got to pick up on a couple of other things, because if you go on the Ball Slaps YouTube, you'll see a short video from when I went to Ireland and tried the Big Alley hardball, which is a bit like a giant version of fives but with no lines hit it above, which is really interesting for me to play because I found that quite easy, but a lot of Irish say it's really hard. But because I play fives, I could transfer to that one. However, transferring to the softball, which is like a big bouncy rubber ball that's heavy, it was impossible for me. Do you do that one too?
Yeah, I did it a little bit growing up, but I only really took that up properly when I went to college or university, whatever you want to call it, third level. And it took until going there to fall in love with that, because that sport is not friendly to beginners if you don't know what you're doing. And especially where I come from in Ireland, it's not a big sport compared to one wall or 40 by 20 or four wall, small court, all the names for it.
Yeah.
But once you get used to it and don't end up playing very poor matches against poor players or incredibly difficult matches against the best players in the country, suddenly you find your level and suddenly it gets a lot more easy to enjoy and to start tracking the bounce of the ball, which is completely unique. I haven't seen any other ball bounce the way the soft ball, as we call it.
No, it's crazy. I could not get used to it at all. One final word, Terry, about athletes that you've seen. So because you're now, in the Rugby Fives circuit, I've got Dan Tristao's dog here. I was going to kick the ball away. Off you go. Speaking of Dan Tristao and his dog, Dan Tristao, excellent athlete. You saw Ed Kay this morning as well. They're both supreme athletes. Mm-hmm. But one of the people we want to interview on this podcast, which hopefully will be coming up soon, is Paul Brady. Now, you've seen Paul play as well. How do you describe the differences? Are they just exceptional athletes in their own game, or does one have something over the other? Is the training? Because I think handball, maybe people take that a bit more professionally in Ireland.
I think so. So I was listening to your excellent podcast with Daniel Tristao during the week.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah. And he was making an interesting point that here drilling your sport isn't really a thing that's done. And because it's kind of an amateur sport, so it's kind of, people nearly consider that, it's a bit out there. You wouldn't drill your serve, you wouldn't drill all the types of shots. Although you have great coaches here who do a lot of good work, but that culture of going into the court on your own and practicing the shots, it's not really here. In Ireland, because amateur sport is baked into the community itself, where Gaelic football and hurling are two of the biggest sports, where you get 80,000 people going into a stadium to watch amateur athletes play. Taking amateur sport seriously in Ireland is quite normal. So growing up, I would have gone to the court 5 days a week on my own when I was 12.
Yeah.
And that's probably a big difference that I can see between the way people train this and the way people take it maybe arguably somewhat more seriously back in Ireland. Obviously, there was money in America and American handball. Not as much these days, but there's still a little bit of money, which you have that other distinction. But in terms of the fitness that I see the athletes here have, I really don't think there's much of a discrepancy between the top Irish 4-all players and the players here. I think Dan was doing himself a bit of a disservice. But yeah, I don't think there's a massive discrepancy. Paul Brady, I know he took it very seriously. He was training 6 days a week. He was in the gym. He was also playing Gaelic football for a lot of that time, so he had a lot of strength and conditioning work going on there.
Yeah.
He's also just a freak of nature.
Any question you want to throw to Paul?
Paul, not really. I just hope we haven't seen the last of you, but if we have, I hope you're enjoying your retirement. Fair play to you.
Lovely. Well, thanks so much, Terry.
Thank you, Dan.
We'll see you later. I'm joined now by Chris Blakely, the Secretary of the RFA. Yeah. Chris, what's your role in a short sentence?
It is to make sure that Fives continues in its current form, that the competitions of the year are set up and run, and to try also to solve all of the problems that come up during the year with Fives, and especially to make sure that the schools competitions are run.
Yeah. And behind us now, I mean, if you're watching this, you can see we're on a court, but you can hear the people on the other court. It sounds like construction, but it's not. It's people playing Fives. Why do you think people like smacking a really hard ball around with their hand? What is drawing people to this sport?
I think the main things that are good about Fives are, first of all, for anybody who loves sport, it's very good exercise. It helps you with a lot of other racket sports, or cricket or hockey, anything that requires really good hand-eye coordination. But I think more than anything else, it's the simplicity of the game and the companionship and the sportsmanship that are really part of the culture of the game. If you don't fit into that culture, you won't feel comfortable in Fives, and people won't feel comfortable with you.
Yeah, fair enough. We were having a chat earlier off the podcast, but you were talking about the highs and lows of being in an organisational position like you are in.
Yes.
Post-COVID, we're in a quite fast-moving world now. I mean,
Yes.
Fives really has some challenges.
Yes.
Do you want to talk about briefly what some of the main challenges are for a minority sport like this, but also what are some of the good things that are happening?
Well, the challenge is that very few people know what Fives is. And sadly, these days, not all that many people get the opportunity as children, as teenagers, as university students even, to find out about Fives, to get the opportunity to play it. And so therefore the numbers coming through are actually quite small. The second thing is that it's a completely amateur sport. And so we don't have sponsors, we're not on the TV, and so there isn't a huge amount of money. Most of the money that we have comes from membership fees and the generosity of long-standing Fives players who give money to the game. So the difficulty is actually to keep it going. The second thing that we have to deal with is the fact that increasingly the staff at the schools, and Fives is pretty well a school-based sport, often these days don't know about Fives. And finding someone to coach and encourage pupils is pretty difficult, and that also reduces the number of people who come through and then continue to play as adults. I don't think it's particularly related to COVID any longer, but it's actually maintaining the facilities and the interest in the game at the lower levels so that more players come through. That's the challenge.
Yeah, and you said that because it's mainly a school-based game, it's a bit of a problem, but we do have a couple of community-based facilities with maybe more on the way?
Well, possibly more on the way, yes. There are some plans to build 2 courts at actually a rugby football sports club in Scarborough, and of course there are the famous Manchester Y Club courts that were the home of the greatest ever player, Wayne Enstone. But all the rest of the courts in the country, apart from the odd private individual court, are in schools, and we're dependent on the schools' goodwill to play all of our competitions, because there are no main Rugby Fives, there is no national centre for Rugby Fives, sadly.
Yeah. Now you're a volunteer?
I'm a volunteer, yes, absolutely. Yes.
So a lot of sports run on volunteering. So first of all, thank you very much for everything you do, because if it wasn't for you, I don't think half the things that are going on would be going on. So well done.
It's a pleasure. It's been a passion of mine for several years. I played Fives originally at school. I then had a huge gap of 12 years because I'd never even heard of the RFA. Nobody bothered to tell you these things in those days. And I caught up with it again, got into it again. Then work took me abroad, and it's really actually only in the last 10 years, 12 years, I probably played more Fives and been involved more in Fives than I ever was in the whole of the rest of my life.
Yeah.
and the job is probably 50% of a week, particularly if you take the weekends into account. But I love it, and you get an enormous amount back because I am part of a great community, and I've come here this weekend just to watch because it's so much fun to watch and to be with the Fives community. It's great.
Cool. Well, thanks very much for everything you do.
That's all right. Pleasure.
Long may it continue.
Thanks, Dan. Yeah.
Just doing a quick walk and talk now as I kind of walk around the venue. Just my partner, Ben Beltrami. We're in the final.
We are in the final.
How are you feeling? Fresh?
Good. Yeah, fresh. Had a little bit of a clatter in the last match, but we made it through, just about.
We did. Why do you enjoy this kind of thing?
I just enjoy the competitiveness of it, really. I think it's quite lucky to have a forum where you can be competitive relatively unashamedly. And yeah, it's just a great opportunity to sort of allow that side of my personality to come out.
Do you do any other sports which are as physically demanding and difficult as this?
I don't think so, no. I think the fact that you have to generate all the power with your hands and your arms makes it a very big, very energetic and difficult sport, in addition to having to move around and kind of get everything and change direction all the time. So in comparison to stuff like badminton and squash and things, those are energetic, but I think this one takes it.
Yeah. Well, good luck congratulations on your doubles gold medal today.
Future gold medal.
Yeah. Okay, thanks, Ben.
Awesome.
And I'm just popping outside with Ollie Arnold as well. Ollie, you are considered one of the hardest hitters in the game and one of the best doubles players going, but you've had a bit of time off in Australia.
I have a couple of years off, and I think I can tell. Most people can tell, but no, it was good to play again today.
Did you miss it?
I did miss it.
Why?
It's just great, isn't it? I just love playing the game. You know that. It's got the right mix of intensity, cardiovascular exercise, and it's competitive too, and plus it's a good social weekend.
So Ollie, we spoke to people like Chris Blakely earlier about some of the challenges the game faces. It's a little bit difficult to get people to see the sport, to get involved, lots of barriers. But what would you like to see going forward to help grow this sport?
I think something that has helped a bit of engagement is being able to have the sort of live filming or even streaming of the games that are going on.
Yeah.
I know that there's a pretty small audience as far as that's concerned, just because there's not a big reach to the sport. How to increase that reach, I'm not sure what the answer is. Maybe it's by engaging other people who play minority racket type sports.
Yeah. Well,
tough.
actually, we had a chat on a previous podcast with a guy called Chris from Ireland, and he's involved in the filming of handball over in Ireland. And he was saying, 10 years ago, and I've noticed this because, when I run the world tour, we have streamed some stuff. Like, without a doubt, the things that would have cost almost £100,000 like 15 years ago cost you less than £2,000 now. So it does become more accessible, but then you are diluted in a sea of people trying to do the same thing. So I guess I would like to hope that people enjoy minority sports again and niche sports.
Yeah.
There's too much.
Well, you can see that with the sort of niche things in terms of, they've exploded, but paddle or pickleball or that sort of, they started off as a niche sport and they've exploded because of the ease and the reach of it, I suppose.
Well, hopefully we'll get some Saudis involved in Fives and then it'll
a billionaire or two. That would help.
And now I'm here with Hamish Buchanan. Hamish, do you want to give an introduction to yourself as someone in the game?
I've played the game for a long time, but yeah, I love the game. I don't play so much these days, but I still love it as much.
And when I started, you were top of the doubles. How many times have you won the national doubles?
National doubles, 8 times.
8 times? And what's your best memory of the doubles?
That's tough. It's I don't know. It's winning 8 in a row and keeping the standard up just about to the end, till the last one. But yeah, it's tough. Everyone's different. Every one of those wins.
When did you start?
Playing fives?
Yeah.
Started playing fives. Well, I went to Alain, started playing way back in the distant 1977.
1977.
First time on court, yeah.
So you've seen the game change a lot.
Yeah.
And how has it changed for you? Balls, gloves, just techniques?
The balls change, but people adapt. The balls get quicker, they get heavier, they get faster, the game gets a bit faster. But people adapt, especially sort of new generations coming through. So that doesn't change much. And especially what doesn't change is the fun that people have and the camaraderie between the players. That's the thing that hasn't changed. What has changed, perhaps numbers have gone down a bit, not so many people playing, but still.
Yeah. There's a debate we were having, and we were talking about it on Dan Tristao podcast a little while ago. We never saw Wayne Enstone. You would have seen Wayne Enstone play.
Yep.
What was the athleticism we're seeing today compared to the GOAT in his prime?
Today's players, they look like Wayne for a few rallies.
Yeah.
They don't always look like Wayne did in the 150th rally.
So Wayne was just super fit.
Super fit. I mean, it would be like we were playing today and Nadal was also a fives player. You know,
right, yeah.
We would notice how much fitter he was than everybody else.
So did he win by attrition, or did he have like great shots
initially
as well?
He won by attrition. The ball was slower and he was a very attritional player. He developed shots, and most people would say he hit the ball pretty much as hard as anybody back then. Not the hardest, but he could hit it hard if he needed to.
Yeah.
And he could play drop shots and volleys. But generally, a huge advantage going on court. Everybody knew you couldn't wear him down, which makes you think, I've got to play some outstanding shots to beat this guy. And then that doesn't happen.
Did you ever beat him?
No. I won one game where I thought he was trying.
Yeah, okay. Was there any other people in the history who you'd go, that guy, absolutely incredible, changed the game?
Neil Roberts changed the game of doubles. Started out being a pretty right-handed player, could play a little bit on the left, developed his left hand so strong, became such a powerful hitter on the left that you just didn't hit to him because he would find nicks.
Yeah.
Relentless. And you'd see him change his aim looking for the perfect nick, rather like you see a darts player aiming for the treble 20.
Yeah.
Miss it slightly left, miss it slightly right, up or down, adjust, and find it. Yeah, he was pretty incredible.
Yeah, well, from my point of view, Hamish, when I first started, you were the top of the game, and it was incredible to see you play.
Thank you, Dan.
And I remember you used to trash me in doubles a few times, and then one day you asked me to play with you.
Yeah.
That was the greatest day of my life. But no, appreciate everything you've done, your advice over the years.
Thank you, Dan.
And just seeing you progress. Thanks very much, Hamish.
Thank you, Dan.
Just going to step outside for a sec with one of the up-and-coming talents. Freddie, how's it going?
Good.
So Freddie, you're in your final year of school now.
Last year.
And you are winning school's national titles and making an impact in the adult game now. People are putting you on a pedestal.
Wow.
Which is not really Freddie's fault. People are just doing it. But he is an extremely good player. But Freddie, from a school's point of view, like, why did you get into fives? What made you love it?
Got into fives because one of my favourite teachers was the main fives coach at school.
Oh, right.
And he was so enthusiastic about fives, and he kept telling me, you've got to come down to the courts, you've got to play fives. Like, I gave it a go, and it's an addictive experience. Hitting the fives ball, hearing that crack off the front wall, and having some friends who also played it, and kind of being able to play together informally and with structured sessions just gets you into it really quickly.
Lovely. You've won a couple of schools titles. Are you feeling confident about winning a schools title this year? And then you're into the adult game properly.
Yeah, I never feel confident about winning anything, and I think that is the way you should feel. But yeah, hoping to win again this year, but we'll have to wait and see. It's always what it feels like on the day and how you play, but then looking to kind of push into the adult scene now.
Lovely. And we've had a bit of a spectrum today because we spoke to Hamish about the long-standing history of the game and the things he's seen in the past. You're up and coming, and you are looking at the newer generation. I know you've been studying videos and things like that.
Yeah.
Who are the players that have inspired you the most?
Unfortunately, it is Dan Tristao.
Not surprising.
Not surprising.
Shot variety.
It is the flair and the drop shots, and not just having the ability to hit nicks and stay in the rallies and retrieve, but innovate and add different shots to the game and expand the way that people see it and are able to play is particularly inspiring, I'd say.
Do you play other sports as well?
I do. I play cricket and just generally quite a lot of other racket sports, which is obviously quite helpful.
Does fives help other sports, or sports help fives?
I think other sports help fives more, but that's probably because I play fives more. But yeah, everything helps in a way. You're getting better with your fitness or mental game.
Yeah.
It all comes together.
And I suppose for young people that might be listening to this, I guess at fives it's not so easily accessible. You have to go to some clubs, and it might seem off-putting because the ball sounds like it's pretty heavy. It's like clashing around. What would you say to people about just giving something a go?
Oh, I think it's something that you absolutely have to just give a go. All the clubs are really friendly and welcoming. I go to Executioners on a Wednesday night, and I started bringing my brother along, who hasn't played that much fives, and he loves it because everyone's really nice. You get on court. Bit of padding in the gloves means that the ball's very much manageable, and you can just play with anyone, any level, and have a lot of fun.
Yeah, Executioners sounds like it's not very nice, but actually it's a really friendly club.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks very much, Freddie.
No, thank you.
So I'm back with Dan Tristao. You might remember him from way back when, at the beginning of this podcast, episode 3 from a few weeks ago. Dan, first of all, thanks for your podcast a few weeks ago, and well done today. So you have got to the final of the singles.
Yep.
And unfortunately, you were undone by the new number 1, Ed Kay.
Indeed, although not that new, unfortunately. He's been top of the singles for the last year or two already. But it was a very good match, and he played really well.
Yeah. Did he come along like kind of using your style? A lot of people thought he was like Tristao Light for a while, but now he's Tristao Maximum Sugar.
Yeah, that is a theory that some people had. I think there was probably a little bit of truth to it. That because he was a few years younger than me, came up playing at the same school, probably did learn a bit of his game from mine, and there were definitely some similarities in playing style, but I think he's definitely developed into his own player over the last 20 years.
Incredible retrieval, isn't it?
Yeah.
So silver medal in the singles.
Yep.
Silver medal in the doubles.
We'll see, Dan.
The doubles final is about to happen between myself and my partner and Dan and his partner. So we'll let you know how that goes. But Dan, I wanted to catch you because we did throw in some questions for your podcast, but we also had some questions come in after your podcast. And there's a really interesting one from Mr. Adrian Lee.
Very good.
In Hong Kong. He basically said, he said he wondered if, when you spoke about your game, changing it, the retrieval, the speed, the drop shots you can do, he thought, and we just spoke to Hamish a while ago about the ball changes. In the old days, there was a cliff ball, which was really heavy, really high. It's basically a rock. And it was slow, and it cracked around, and it was really hard to do much with. I only played with it for like a year when I first started school. Then the G6 ball came out, which is like a little baseball, much faster, much pingier, and it's a step change, a bit like tennis, of like a wooden racket to a modern racket. Like, it was a big change in the game. So Adi was wondering, do you think that your game would have worked with the cliff, or do you have or is the G6 kind of that change enabled you really?
It's an interesting question. The obvious answer is I have no idea. I never played with the old cliff ball. I don't know when it stopped being used completely, but I think it must have been in the late 90s.
Yeah. I'd also say, as well as the cliff, the glove change as well. Because
the glove changes, I will say that the glove changes, while significant, I don't think that I'd say that my game is meaningfully different because of the glove. I think you could still do it. It's just that touch was a bit more difficult in certain.
Yeah. And for listeners, the old glove was basically like a pudding on your hands, and the new
it's
glove is a bit more flex.
It was a much sort of thicker, padded, bigger glove. Or that's what most people use.
We say that, but then, like you say, the GOAT of doubles, Will Ellison, he used to wrap his hands up in about 3 inches of padding.
Very true.
He couldn't feel anything, but he
Very
had
true.
the deftest drop shots.
But yeah, incredible touch. Very rarely mistimed the ball. Didn't feel like he didn't hit it cleanly. So I think you can sort of get used to anything in that respect, and some people just kind of get used to the thing that they ultimately start playing with. The ball question is more subtle and more interesting. I don't know. I genuinely don't know, but I imagine my game probably would have looked a bit different.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair supposition because the lighter, pingier ball does enable you to do a bit more with it, have a bit more variety, presumably, and also probably a little more forgiving when sort of kids, smaller players are starting out. I think.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. A couple of questions. Nala, your dog, she's here today.
Yes.
Is she enjoying it?
She is having a great time and had a great time yesterday. She loves it here at Alleynes when the weather's
a great
nice.
time
because
eating players' food as well.
Yes, but I blame the players. I think that
Can't leave your food around with an apex predator.
Correct, and I think that the first player whose food was eaten yesterday, maybe that's on the dog, and by extension on me. But then by the end of the day and by today, if you're still not closing your bag and putting your food in it, that's on you. That's and I take no more responsibility.
Yeah. One final question. We've had a chat with Hamish Buchanan today, one of the legends of the game. What's your impression of Hamish, and how's that? Is he kind of like an inspirational character for you?
As a person
or a player?
Hamish is a lovely person, but if you're
he's actually behind us on the camera.
and he's also listening in on the interview just to monitor my response. I think as a player, definitely an inspiration. I think that part of that was that part of what shapes that opinion is timing. When I was coming up in the game, and perhaps sort of my late teens, Hamish, probably at this point in his early 40s, was still kind of very much at the top of the game and had been sort of the guy to beat for the last sort of 5 to 7 years prior. So sort of the guy that you'd turn up at a tournament and then you'd sort of see him across the gallery and sort of think, fuck, that's Hamish. And I think that aura sort of sticks with you, and I think that perception does sort of stick with you. But obviously over the years, then played competitively against him for a brief period of time, and then overtook him as he reached the end of his career. And then sort of became sort of friends along the way. But I think that initial impression never goes away. Very impressive Fives career and very impressive and well-rounded Fives game.
Yeah, indeed. Well, Dan, good luck in the final, but not that much luck.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dan.
Likewise, Dan.
And now I'm joined by two of our youngest fans, the brand new Fives fans, Evie and Opie. What do you guys think of this event? You have one microphone each.
It's hard. It's good.
There you go. It's hard. It's good. That's probably the best review you've had today. Oh, that's the end of the London Open. Unfortunately, it didn't go to plan. Not for me anyway, but I think Dan Tristao did a Tristao at the end. Final word from you, Pen, to finish this off. You happy with the London Open this year?
Firstly, it was definitely your fault that you lost the doubles. Yeah, honestly, super high quality. Higher quality than last year, actually. Yeah, some amazing play and plenty of videos, plenty of footage to go along with it.
Where can they see those videos?
On Ball Slaps.
No, not on Ball Slaps, on the RFA YouTube. So, listen, thanks for joining us this week. Thanks, Pen.
Thank you very much.
And well done for organising such a good event.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.
The gloves are laced up tight. Tristao, Campbell, try me. Ready for the fight. But watch out for young Penn. Sneaking through the draw. Could be the dark horse rider with the fastest head you saw. Oh, it's London, the Open's here at last. We'll cheer every rally, every serve, every blast. Raise your pints together. Grant's not in the singles this time. Hey! Sunday means the doubles. The crowd already knows. Grant and Beltrami teaming up. The rest just there for show. The silver's in their pocket. The glory's in their hands. The only real debate is what pub to hit when they disband. Oh, it's London. just have to ask for it. Every pub will comply. At home, controllers side by side, victors of the weekend with garlic bread supplied. The Open's more than winning, it's laughter, sweat and cheers.